Yo, what's up, everybody? It's C to the O to the U to the N to the T to Contreras County. The WNBA or the Detroit Pistons? Guys, I live in Michigan, so seeing the Detroit Pistons break records is a new one for me. They broke a record, if you guys aren't aware. If you guys live in Michigan, you probably know, even if you don't watch sports. Pistons are really bad. And that's one of the reasons why my boy Kevin Knox, my boy Killian Hayes, my boy James Wiseman, thank God he's off the Warriors, and my boy Marvin Bagley. And then paying a coach $78 million. I genuinely believe this Detroit Pistons team could probably lose to a WNBA team. They don't deserve to be in the NBA. But let's check it out.
Was a history that basketball fans in Detroit were not looking forward to experiencing Tuesday night, but the
sell the team. I've been hearing a lot of this.
Pistons couldn't redirect course, dropping their 27th straight game with a 118-112 loss to the Brooklyn Nets. And here's head coach Monty Williams after the game.
You have to be real about where we are. Nobody wants something like this attached to them. The bottom line is it's my job. It's my responsibility. You know, basketball is what we do. You take pride in it because you want to win. And
what pride do you have left? Like, realistically, guys, what pride does Detroit have? Like, dude, humble yourself. No, you're not a good basketball team. And work your tail off. What pride is there?
Just haven't done that. And again, that's on me. It weighs on us every day. I mean, everywhere. It weighs on me.
All right, well, the Pistons losing.
Okay, if you don't know, if you're not aware, the Philadelphia 76ers streak is 2 seasons. So their losing streak is in the span of 2 seasons. The Pistons are in just 1 season. They lost 27 in a row.
Streak is now the longest single season losing streak in NBA history and the second longest losing streak in not just NBA history, but also in the NFL, NHL, and MLB. Historically speaking, now the trailing the 76ers, of course, who lost 28 consecutive games spanning the 2014 and 2015 season.
Last win was in late October. Dude, we're almost done with the
So, we got to talk about this. Let's bring in Kendrick Perkins and Brian Windhorst. All right, Perk, should the Pistons be this bad?
No.
No, they shouldn't. I mean, they're an NBA team losing 27 in a row. Well, make it 28 in a row because they're going to lose tomorrow night to the Celtics.
Very aware.
A better chance of having breakfast in the morning with Beyonce and Oprah than they do of beating the Celtics tomorrow. So we might as well say that's 28 in a row. That's number one. Number two, they shouldn't be this bad, right?
No.
And when you think about it, they have a lot of young, good players, elite talent. There's going to be that.
Yeah, they do it. Like, it's so shocking to me. They have Cade, Ivy, Sar Thompson, Jalen Duren. They have a good vet in Bojan Bogdanovic. They have 5 good players. Like, Joe Harris hasn't played all season. But other than that, like, your bench is probably the worst in the league.
It's a very promising future. When you look at Cade Cunningham, when you look at Ivy, Asua Thompson is going to be nice in the future.
100%.
You know, Marvin Bagley III could bump
No, he's a bust. No, he's not.
Grind a little bit and play in that paint. So when I think about the Pistons,
and I completely forgot, Isaiah Stewart is also very good. But continue.
And where they are right now is just tough. I wanted to come on here. Right, and I wanted to be like Mad Dog, and I wanted to go on this rant about how they should fire Monty Williams, how he should be out the window, change the scenery, but that's not going to happen. They just paid him $78 million this past offseason. And look, Mad Dog, I see you looking at me crazy. Either you can't see or you disagreeing with what I'm saying, but either...
Bro just smoked the best blunt of his life. Look at him, bro.
Way is cool. Here's another thing. I was on the ball club that lost 18 games in a row.
That's not
before I won the NBA championship. I was on the team where they were yelling, the fans were yelling, "Fire Doc Rivers." Well, we had the youngest team in the league, right? And we just couldn't get it together. They're facing a lot right now.
I'm sorry, I can't take this dude. Look at him. Look at Mad Dog's face, bro. He looks like he just smoked a blunt.
It's still no excuse whatsoever, but you have to remember this. Every team that they're facing is trying not to be that team that they're able to.
Which is such an unfortunate circumstance. It's like, you don't want to be the one to break the losing streak. So you're not only the worst team in the league, but you're getting the best effort out of every single team, because no team wants to be embarrassed. Like losing to the Pistons basically is the tail end of your season essentially being over. Like, this is worse than any inconsistency you can have, is losing to the Detroit Pistons, because that shows either you're a lottery team, you're a play-in team, you're a first-round exit, or you're not a contender. Whatever level you think your NBA team is on, it just shows that they're not a contender, they're not a playoff team, they're first-round exit, they're a play-in team, they're a lottery team. It just shows, yeah, you're in a world of trouble.
Break their losing streak against.
Perk, the news is worse than that, because their next 2 games are against the Celtics. It's a baseball series in Boston. Look out for that one. I want to take you guys back to last February, right before the All-Star break. The Pistons beat the San Antonio Spurs in a double overtime game. Very forgettable. Both teams were tanking. I doubt the players even remember the game. Since that game, mid-February 2023, the Pistons are 4-51.
Oh my God. Dude, no, bro. You just can't. I don't care if you're tanking. You can't be that bad, bro. No.
4-51. We can look at this losing streak and say, oh my God, it's only part of the story. 4-51. I'm a Browns fan. The worst part about going 0-16 was that it came after a season when they went 1-15. Okay? So you look at this. Now, last year you can say, well, they were tanking. They were tanking at the end of the season for Wembanyama, and I guess that's true. By the way, the tank was an absolute...
Wemby ain't in this draft, guys. This draft is completely weak. Wemby is not in there, guys.
Disaster. They had the number 1 chance to win the lottery. They had the worst record by 5 games, and they got the 5th seed. They got the absolute worst outcome in the lottery that could possibly happen. Was a disaster. But the thing that makes this start so shocking and so really unexplainable is that they're not tanking anymore.
No.
When they went into the offseason, they traded for veteran players. Now, those guys aren't contributing. Joe Harris.
Yeah, they traded for Monte Morris and Joe Harris, who both hardly have even played this season.
And Monte Morris, they're not contributing. As you said, Perk, they paid Monty Williams almost $80 million, the biggest contract in the history of the NBA for a coach at that time. They didn't go into this season tanking. This is supposed to be the improved Detroit Pistons that have lost 27 in a row. Now, you may say, well, how did it possibly get here? Over the last 4 years, as they've been doing a rebuild, their GM, Troy Weaver, who I know you know well, Perk, from your time in Oklahoma City, he drafted a bunch and acquired a bunch of point guards and centers. That's not the worst idea in the world. There's a whole...
It's not, because those are probably the 2 most important positions in the NBA right now, and then third would probably be small forward. But you gotta balance it out, man. Like, get some balance, dude.
A bunch of championship teams over the decades, as Mad Dog will tell you, that were built around point guards or centers. The thing about it is, none of them can shoot. None of them. Well at all. He's only really drafted one player who's a...
Not really even Cade, bro. Like, it's bad.
Marginal shooter, and that's Sadiq Bey. He traded him last year for another center in James Wiseman. So you look at the Pistons, and every single night in the year 2023, now 2024 about, they are destroyed at the three-point line. They are the worst three-point shooting team by number of makes, the worst by number of attempts, and they are second worst in percentage. Yeah. They get obliterated every night at the three-point line. They're also one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA. They get obliterated every night on the boards. Just
look at Mad Dog's face, bro. Dude is looking into my soul as if he just smoked the best blunt of his life.
I think they've lost the rebounding advantage like 9 of the last 10 or something like that. So this is just basic basketball, guys. You come into a game, the other team outshoots you from 3 every night, and you get out-rebounded every night.
Yeah, you
don't have a chance. No. And you look at player by player, and you can break it down. But that is the bottom line, and I have no idea where they're going to go now because they really can't even explain why they're as bad as they are.
100%. You guys are right on top of it, Perk. I'm not going to rant because you were right on it and gave good stuff, good analysis. Brian, I don't like the 28, by the way, because that's over 2 seasons. So I don't look at the Sixers. To me, streaks are 1 year.
Thank you.
Batting streaks, winning streaks, losing streaks.
So again, we still made history regardless, but okay, let's continue.
It's a 1-season thing. So I don't even pay attention to the 28. They're going to break that anyway because, as you guys said, they're going to lose to the Celtics the next 2 games. They only got one big player. Cunningham's a good player. And he didn't play at all. He got hurt. He's a good player.
Yeah,
He scored 41 last night. He's a good NBA player. But Perk, what you said is 100%. They are now in a very rare situation because of the losing streak. They're getting everybody's best effort.
It's just it's such a shamble. Like, can they legitimately, could they possibly go on a 40-game losing streak? Because think about it, let's say, there is someone at your school that is really bad at basketball, and everyone knows it, and everyone's just been kicking this dude's rear. If you're the guy that loses to him, you know how embarrassing that is? It's the same thing here.
The Celtics are not going to want to lose to them tomorrow night. They're coming off a big road trip where they killed the Lakers and Clippers. They killed Sacramento and lost a close game to Golden State. They're coming home, and that first game off a trip is tricky, and even they're going to want to beat Detroit. Thinking good things in Detroit, a team that won back-to-back titles with Chuck and that great Pistons team in the 90s, and now they've lost all these games in a row, and you guys are right. They're going to lose 3 or 4 more before they finally win a ball game.
Yeah.
Now, real quick.
But see,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Perk. No, you go.
No, go ahead, Victoria.
Well, I just want to follow up with you, Mad Dog, real quick. Who do you think should have more wins, or will get more wins, Lions or the Pistons?
Yeah, Lions.
Y'all do know the Lions only play 17 games, and they only have 11 wins right now. They'll probably get to 12, maybe 13. If the Pistons get under 10 wins in the season, oh my God, I don't want to.
Have 11. They'll probably get to 12.
Yeah.
So that means the NBA record is Philadelphia, who won 9 games. You know, that team back in the early 70s before they got Julius and McGinnis, and they became a really, they won. They're going to win more than 9 games. I would think. Perk, I'll let you answer it. They should win more than 11. I'd say they win 15 games. They should win more than the Lions will win this year in the NFL.
No, they won't.
Oh my God. For the first time, I actually think he's right. I honestly think we're going to go 8-74. I'm not even a Pistons fan, but I am from Michigan. They're going to go 8-74. That's my final prediction. 8-74. The most I could probably see them win is 16, but even still 16-66 is horrible. And especially with this losing streak, the morale is completely down.
They will not. The Lions will have more wins. You know what's crazy?
You know that's crazy to say when the Lions only play 17 games in the regular season, and the Pistons play 82. You're basically multiplying that by 4? Yeah, 4.
Crazy. I believe this time next year we'll be having a different conversation about the Detroit Pistons. These young guys are going to learn so much from this situation. But I will say,
I think I said 3 straight years that the Pistons were going to be a play-in team, and they just have been horrible. So no, I'm done. I'm done believing in them. I'm done until they start the season at least 500, dude. For the love of God.
It is. Monty Williams. They did pay you $78 million. Close to $80 million to coach, one of the highest paid coaches in the league. You got to adjust.
Yeah.
We done seen Greg Popovich adjust. We done seen so many coaches.
Bro, Greg Popovich is close to death. Let's be real now.
Rick Carlisle adjust. You have to adjust. You have to go into this locker room and speak these young guys' language. You got to make them convinced You got to convince them to buy into your system. Wendy, you talked about the rebound, and that's effort. So if you're not getting effort, what are you really speaking in that locker room? You got to get it together.
Yeah, you got to get it together because, look, their last win was...
They'll get more than 12 wins, Victoria, but it may not be until April. It may come right down to it.
Oh, boy, that's going to be rough because their last win was their home opener.
No, we're not. No, I'm not rewatching that video. Oh, my God. That's going to be it. It hurts because I'm from Michigan, and it makes kind of sense that the Pistons are bad. I go to the Grand Rapids YMCA, and everyone there is trash as well, so it kind of makes sense. But that's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is painful. See you guys next time, and peace.